This is Angela, occupational therapist for the cardiac team, and Renee, a physiotherapy student on placement.
Hi Renee, I've been asked by your clinical educator to talk about the case conference we just had and how it relates to interprofessional practice. So could you tell me what the main aims of case conference are?
I think they were to update everyone on the client's current care plan, as well as the needs for future care and plan of action.
And who guided most of the case conference today?
I think it was the caseworker, Jen. She seemed to really coordinate the session. She had access to the written care plan as well as the client file.
And who else contributed to the case conference?
The physio, the OT and the dietitian all contributed.
Was there any profession-specific jargon that was used?
Yeah, I was a bit confused by the nutritionist when she mentioned the word, I think it was hypercholesterolemia, and I didn't also understand why there was such a focus on sodium. And the OT student also mentioned HAC. Could you explain to me what that is?
So HAC stands for Home and Community Care. Remind me to explain that to you later. And basically with the sodium, the less you have in your diet, the more likely you'd have to lower your blood pressure and cholesterol. It's really easy to get lost in that kind of jargon and miss some of the key points in case conference. So it's make sure that we clarify that as we're going through.
True, and it all happens so quickly. I never really thought of sports drinks being something that could come up as being an issue.
Yeah, exactly. So from the case conference, can you tell me the most important key components that related to Tony's care?
I think from Tony's perspective, finances and family life are going to be the biggest issues for him right now. Diet isn't on his priorities, but I think it's something that does need to be addressed because otherwise all the good work that he has done will come undone.
Yeah, and I think his medications probably need to be looked at as well because he's getting a lot of different information that's causing him a bit of confusion. And if he gets those wrong, he could end up back in hospital. So what role do you think you could play in his care?
Well, I would have to consider those things too. So I would determine what kind of exercises Tony enjoys and also see if there's any other people that can help Tony and also see if there was any barriers like location or time or finances. I could also work with the social worker to see if any of these barriers are stopping him after he has finished with the program here.
Yeah, definitely. And do you think that there were any roles within the case conference and Tony's care plan that could be done by more than one health profession?
Yeah, well, his ongoing exercise program could potentially be looked at by a physiotherapist or a exercise physiologist, as well as the OT and the social worker can both work to determine what services he may need and possible back to work options. But who would do this?
Yeah, well, who would do what is a tricky question sometimes, but realistically it comes down to who can meet the client's care goal needs at that time. So it might be the person that has the shortest wait list or the person that's already had enough rapport with Tony to continue with his treatment effectively at that time. It's sometimes difficult to negotiate. But what do you think some of the benefits of working in a team are?
So each team member only has a small snapshot of Tony's life. So as a team, we're able to establish a comprehensive picture of his healthcare needs. And during case conference, they're able to allocate tasks so we can better time manage Tony.
So do you think there's anything, Renee, that we haven't covered today in either the case conference or this session?
No, I think we've actually covered everything.
Great. Well, Renee, I think you've really clearly outlined the aims of case conference. I think you've also managed to identify the key areas each team member needs to focus on, as well as what you might be able to do to help Tony, and how all of this relates to interprofessional practice. So well done.